And we are live. Dr. Monero, what's happening?
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Wednesday, April 25th. We have some nice price action going for Bitcoin. It's been a wonderful week. Very happy at it's very fluctuant, but it's been a good week overall.
Well, it's been quite a surprise, to be honest with you. It took a little longer than expected, but it started to happen obviously right after tax day. It seems like that happens every year right around that tax time. And this year did not disappoint.
Exactly. Right now it's at 9,045, a little volatile, but you're going to have that. It was right at the initial point, November. It started to take the same price action. So we'll see what happens. Right now we got some great news, exciting news at that. So,
but I noticed that, Ethereum did take quite a chunk. I mean, it dropped 15 points in 24 hours after gaining that amount, the few days previously. And it's still settling out at a fairly good price of 634 at the moment. That's still down 10%. So it was at one point yesterday well above $700, and it dropped $100. Bitcoin as well was above 9,000. There was talk of it jumping 10K again, and it slid below 8,800. I think, and some exchanges had it as low as 86. Currently, it's 3% down in the past 24 hours on the total. So, there has been a lot of action, and you can see it at OhioBitcoin.com. There's a flurry of activity on that page right now. Live pricing, live trading activity going on with all the major cryptos, but the top 100, they're right there on that main page, right, Dr. Monero?
Yes, sir. I'm viewing right now on Ohio Bitcoin. We got 596 being that support really for, that Ethereum just hit and then just propped right back up. So, as I see right now, it's 633. So, and it's the best, from what I see, it's the best live, prices here on Ohio Bitcoin. We're seeing, just great movement. You're not missing a tick at all, and you're getting that, real time, equivalent of what the price is.
Yeah, and if you really want to get into more in depth on the tools, anytime you could click on any of the coins on that page: Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin, whatever. Any of the top 100, pick one. You click on it, and it's going to take you to a page that has all the information that you're going to need to research that coin and make a real-time decision if you're either going to invest it or sell. Whatever you're going to do with it, that information is very valuable. It's right there.
Yeah, I think that's where Dan Bilzerian, where he made his decision this week. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Dan Bilzerian, but he's a pretty popular guy here on Twitter and Instagram and all that. But he's been a very big advocate for cryptocurrency this week.
Recently I think he just bought a shitload of Bitcoin, he said.
Yeah, that was his exact words.
So I bought a shitload of Bitcoin today, and it's so crazy watching that shit fucking go up. It's like having a sweat, like fucking betting a bunch of money on the Super.
I don't know. It said it didn't indicate how much he bought. It's hard to tell what would constitute that size of a load for him. His net worth is over 100 million, according to web search and recent sources. So if we suppose he bought 10 million, then even a few dollars change in this volatile investment would gain or losses that would be noticeable. So interesting.
Dan Bilzerian. He's got some balls there.
Yeah, Dan Bilzerian. We're changing his name.
Dan Bitcoin
Dan Bitcoin Bilzerian.
He's all in.
Buys 10 million in Bitcoin. Goes balls to the wall.
Balls all in.
I bought a shitload of Bitcoin today. Instagrammer Dan Bitcoin Balls Deep Bilzerian. That's 10 million in Bitcoin. Right.
Holy shit. He put everything he had in balls.
In 2018. In 2018. Okay, I guess that's a good bet. I don't know.
Yeah, if he has that many followers, then that's maybe why the
Hopefully,
price action.
hopefully all 22 million of them will buy a Bitcoin, then there won't be any more left. And then
if he bought that many, if he
All
bought
right.
that many, then he's going to be
Well, hopefully
pumping
he's
it
got
for
his-
the next 2
well, his
weeks.
bot followers. Let's hope his bot followers, all 22 million bots that he's got following him, will buy a Bitcoin, and then there will be
And then
none
it's-
left, and whoever was holding before will be, the whales. They'll be in charge of all the bots. That's what's going to happen.
and Balzarian will
Dan.
be at the head.
And then he'll change his name. Yeah, he'll change his name to Dan Bot
BTC
Balzarian.
Balzarian.
Yeah. He's gonna just run bots all night long. So that's enough on Dan.
All right, we have some awesome news as well. The Winklevoss boys, the Winklevoss twins.
Sure.
The crypto exchange partners with NASDAQ.
Gemini.com. Gemini.com.
Exactly.
No, yes,
At
great.
Gemini, exactly.
Sure.
And I'm getting this information directly off of OhioBitcoin, but you go on there, you can see it's kind of what they're trying to do is mesh the Gemini exchange with the NASDAQ markets, and making it just fluctuate in the way trading works in both industries. So I'm really excited for the future, what they can do, because they've, if you think back, they're the original ones that kind of started Facebook before Zuck came in. So, that whole movie with Facebook and all that, they got some big minds and they definitely make moves. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be great. There's no question about it.
Definitely. So
it's going to be big time. If that's coupled with what NASDAQ is doing, where the CEO there has been quoted as saying that, they would be interested in a cryptocurrency exchange, possibly right there at NASDAQ. What do you think about that, Dr. Monero?
I think it's beautiful. Like it says, they announced it's partnered with NASDAQ to monitor markets April 25th. So, that's coming. That's fresh news right off the conveyor belt.
Bitstamp is to be sold to a South Korean gaming firm for $350 million, they're reporting right now, which is coming out of South Korea.
That's
I guess they're going to reportedly be acquired by a South Korean gaming company. There are 3 sources that have been quoted on the matter, and those is Business Insider reports Bitstamp, which is one of the oldest Bitcoin exchanges, is finalizing a sale to a company called Nexon, which is a South Korean gaming company that is headquartered in Japan, Dr. Monero.
Japan.
One of your favorite places. I know you're a big Hello Kitty fan.
Yeah, I got a third home over there in Japan.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That's
Bitstamp, which was, I guess, it says here, founded in 2011, and that's headquartered in Luxembourg. Isn't that where your other house is?
Yeah, I just sold that one. I'm looking at, Luxembourg. The girls weren't that hot there, so I had to make another decision. I consulted with Dan Bilzerian first.
Bill, was he there? Okay.
Yeah, Dan was there. Yep.
Now, Bitstamp is obviously one of the premier and one of the original exchanges, Bitcoin exchanges. And MT Gox and all those exchanges are gone.
Gox.
They're still around, and some company just bought them for $350 million. I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not cheap. That's not cheap at all.
It's going to be sold for $50 million less than Circle was said to have paid for U.S. cryptocurrency exchange Poloniex, which it acquired earlier this year in a deal that they claim was worth $400 million. So that makes that Bitstamp's, pretty comparable as far as an acquisition, a Bitcoin exchange acquisition would go. What do you think about that, Dr. Monero?
I think it's awesome because you see back in the day, or even back in the year, you go on these Poloniex sites or you go on Bitstamp, whatever, they have you could see the technologies there. The advancement is possible. They have these chats what was it, troll chat and all this that, it was looking like 1990s like AOL type. And with these big acquisitions and big buyouts, I mean, they're going to make these sites just absolutely, next revolution of technology. So they're not playing around when they pay that price tag.
That's a lot of money. And South Korea is a place for crypto trading. Obviously, one of the biggest in the world. Would you agree?
Oh, they can fluctuate the price like night and day. So South Korea.
So let me ask you this. And is it possible that there is not yet a Hello Kitty altcoin?
I don't know, but I think we can make a campaign.
I think we just created one. It's time to do one.
Kitty. I know there's a Trump. I know there's a Trump coin.
There is.
Oh, there is.
There's lots of those. There's Kanye coin. I've heard them all, but I just thought because I thought Hello Kitty was pretty big out there. Maybe it isn't. I don't know.
I got a poster right here. I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's what I figured. You were into it. It's good stuff. We'll see. But so that's good news. What else is out there? What else is happening in the crypto Bitcoin world, Dr. Monero?
Like I just said, popped up is Fundstrat's global advisor, co-founder Tom Lee, which he's pretty pronounced in CNBC. He's always on there talking. Today he said he would rather invest and buy into Bitcoin, new money into Bitcoin, than Bitcoin Cash.
Interesting.
Bitcoin Cash is just taking off this past week like crazy.
I saw that. At one point, I think it was down as low as $700.
Yeah, and when I saw it there, I was like, "This is not going to last." So, I think the news was it had to do with mining and the ability to increase hash rates, from what I saw. And he told this Mr. Lee, he over Bitcoin Cash, April 24th. So this yesterday, but just came out. I think both have merits, but he thinks that the fresh dollar should be invested in Bitcoin over Bitcoin Cash. And I agree. I mean, Bitcoin is definitely the most prominent, and I think the strongest out of the top four, for sure, 100%.
And you've seen that Bitcoin Cash, like Bitcoin, it's a copy, if you will, and it's performing relatively well considering how old it is.
Oh, for sure. And you mix that in with Tim Draper's. He said earlier this week, which he's a multi-billionaire, says Bitcoin
supply.
Yeah, he says it's bigger than the Industrial Revolution itself in a debate with skeptics. So that's coming from American Vice Chairman.
What he's saying, investor. Bitcoin or cryptocurrency market,
Bitcoin.
Or just crypto?
He's saying Bitcoin in itself. Yeah,
everything.
Yeah, and he's saying it's bigger than. And this guy's big time.
What's his background, Tim Draper?
He's the American venture capital investor and blockchain industry influencer. He's up there with the Vitalik Buterins, and Andreas and Taropoulos and Charlie Lees. He's just a big advocate from the very beginning of the blockchain.
He was the guy that purchased the Bitcoin that was seized from the Silk Road Marketplace website and the U.S. Marshal Service. He founded Draper Associates and Draper University.
Yeah, and you can find his Twitter at Tim Draper. But he's named 100 most powerful people in finance. So, with that coming out and him saying it's bigger than the Industrial Revolution itself, that's saying something. I mean, we just got to hodling, just like the yodeling kid.
Oh, that kid is great.
Lord, I don't know what I do. All I do is say, oh Lord, that last song did she said goodbye. Well, Lord, I thought I would cry. She do me, she do you, she's got that kind of loving. Lord, I love to hear when she calls me sweet Daddy, such a beautiful dream.
Yep. That's it.
That'd be hilarious. But we are not. Look, I'm not a financial advisor.
I'm not
so
either.
None of this is financial advice. So, hodl if you want, or don't.
I mean, you got to make that informed decision for yourself, and that's why you got to.
And you got to keep in mind. So then, when you're talking about Tim Draper, you got to keep in mind that this is according to Wikipedia, that he's got, or I don't know if he still holds, but he probably has 30,000 bitcoins. That paid at that time $19 million for those 30,000 bitcoins, which wasn't very much. They weren't a lot back then. So he has a pretty vested interest though in that going up, and he has a large position. So that's kind of more important to the audience than
exactly, because we want to give you the most informed and
right.
So for you to make the decision for yourself. But with guys like Tim Draper, his early investments in Tesla, Hotmail, and Skype, his past history and street record is just incredibly strong. Sure. But he's not just blowing smoke. I mean, yes, he has a position, but for yourself and your personal, exactly. And that's why we created something like OhioBitcoin, for you to make that decision for yourself. But as all signs, or
just to have a real time pricing there.
Exactly. I mean, to make that decision, you got to have that real time knowledge
as it's working. If you're on the run, you're on the run on your phone, and you're trying to check on a price, and your buddy says it's one price, and he's at one of the other sites, and you're at OhioBitcoin.com. You're probably going to have the real time live price, unless you're logged into an exchange. And maybe that you can't, when you're on your cell outside of your protected network, maybe you can't log into a certain exchange. Maybe you don't have all the tools in front of you in order to make a purchase or a sale, selling your crypto, making a transaction. You're going to make a move one way or the other, and you're on the move yourself. It might be nice to have the real time in your face before you log into the exchange, right?
Exactly. On the plus side, here's some other great news. But crypto ads ban is temporary, according to LinkedIn's co-founder. He kind of gave an insight on, if you go on like Facebook or YouTube or Google, if you type in Bitcoin or Litecoin or anything like that, they've put this kind of filter that has been filtering out, all the cryptocurrency news and sites. But what he gave his kind of background on the recent crypto ads bans by social networks and internet giants like Facebook, Google, and Twitter, he says that it's temporary on protective measures against scams and other motivations. But he says they will lift these bans eventually. The foundation of cryptocurrency grows. So right now it's kind of like a battle between cryptocurrency and these social networks. But I guess his name's Eric Lai, and I don't know if he's lying or not, but yeah, exactly. I think it's just incredible. I've never seen anything like it. See the pushback that Google and YouTube and Facebook has had against the cryptocurrency nation, I should say.
Well, they all have vested interests in it not succeeding, and probably at the same time, many of them that are in key positions at those organizations do have vested interests in it.
Yeah, I mean, as it grows,
so
you're not gonna have that pushback eventually, because it's gonna make its standpoint, make its foundation that it's
and really the market gained $100 billion in a week or something. I mean, so I'm sure a lot of traders are real happy, and then
we got Goldman Sachs, and they hired a crypto trader. And this is fresh news, as a VP of digital assets. So they made this new position, a VP of digital assets, in response to the client's interests. So Goldman Sachs.
Goldman Sachs?
Yeah, Goldman Sachs. So Jamie Dimon.
JD? Was JD involved in this?
Yeah, I think we got to him last show.
All that, yeah.
That's what happened. You watched those shows, and that's what's going on. But yeah, Goldman Sachs has hired that Justin Schmidt as the vice president of digital assets. And that's what we talked about last show, was just how many people are interested, and they had to make that position kind of open. And boom, there we got Goldman Sachs in there. So that's pretty big there.
Big companies that are jumping into the game here, aren't there?
Exactly. And with that, we're just gonna see more capital moving in, and it's just making it stronger. So that's pretty much the top news for today, and it's Wednesday, 25th. Our second episode of Between Two Bitcoin. Between Two Bitcoin. So everyone, thanks for tuning in. Again, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment of anything you would want us to talk about, or anything that we left out that you find of importance.
Go to like, share, and subscribe below.
Like, share, and subscribe, and you'll get the notification of our next episode of Between Two Bitcoin.